vibrate. Matter of fact, and with these little lives on the phone, if it seemed like I'm looking cross-eyed or something, it's because my camera way down in this corner. But to see the screen, I'm kind of looking off this way. But not cross-eyed. What's up, what's up? And it seemed like one of the toughest things in this realm is to understand oneness and interconnectedness. Like I feel like, just looking at the Truman Show perspective, it was like whenever I was in alignment, word to the butterfly, flying right there. Whenever I was and all that count, with symbols and stuff like that. But the Truman Show vibe with when I was starting to understand that, separation was an illusion, to like in my earliest stages, I used to always make the joke like, shit, I got unconditional love for KKK members, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause again, what harm does it do to have love for, like, which one does more harm? To have love for your quote unquote enemy or to hate them right along with them, you know what I'm saying? Which one carries a heavy energy? Which one carries a light energy, And I'm starting to see it in how much, to pay attention to your own growth. Because some of us may be so caught into that delusion, where even with becoming consciously aware, it's still a black and a white thing, or these over here and these over there, or the cat beings over here and the dog beings or serious beings over here. It's like, what does it help to be caught up in illusion? Now, again, we do have a level of healthy ego for a reason, But again, a healthy ego, all the ego necessary for on a healthy level is just to be able to identify with yourself enough to take care of your vessel. Again, like when I get hungry, instead of sticking the spoon in somebody else's mouth, I can stick it in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the healthy aspect to the ego. What's up, y'all? I'm looking here around. Wait, where the chat at? Can y'all hear me? Blank check. What's up? Yeah, it's like it seemed like that, and no coincidence, I was by that one-way sign, but the one way, already, all right, you already won, and you already won, you know what I'm saying? And I realized, again, like the antagonist is just trying to get us to separate and be in the illusion of separation, It's a continuous, continuous growth, different strokes for different folks on how aware of this we are, But I'm just seeing like, again, where that just because somebody black, just because they got dreadlocks like me, just because they might say Kemet and crystal quartz and lapis lazuli, that doesn't mean, that they're automatically, in alignment with the same thing I am. And again, because I'm bringing it full circle, that's not to allude to the fact of like, oh, again, like a separation, are they out to get me? Because I realize that a lot of it is all inner work. Because again, if somebody is coming into your realm, seeming like they're being an antagonist or, something of that nature, it's up to you to set the healthy boundary to remove that from your, your realm. It's not nobody trying to harm you. And all situations, whether, no matter how negative You know, it's all happening for a reason. It's for us to understand what's that reason. You know. Oh, don't forget, thumbs up, y'all. But you know, it's everything is happening for a reason in that area. But like right now, I'm seeing, uh, you know, this internet vibe. You know, to be aware of our balance again, like the wholeness with everything. Everything is a balance. So it's like a balance of, you know, not putting artificial intelligence before nature, but understand that this is all a dream world. So just as much as, you know, nature is nature, you know, it's also a part of the illusion as well. Same with, you know, artificial intelligence, but I see like it's a balance. Like I don't allow for artificial intelligence to be like a part of your life more than, you know, nature and stuff like that. Because again, back to that wholeness and oneness, it ain't no separation. I have no enemies. There's no difference between, you know, I'm interconnected to the the internet just as much as, you know, the subconscious ethers. You know what I'm saying? And again, y'all, if you in the chat, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Oh, y'all ain't even tell me nothing. Again, y'all watching me, ain't even tell me, hey yo, bro, clean your nose. Damn, bro. Y'all talking about oneness. We supposed to be friends. Let me do this off camera. All right. All right. So Miss Blank Check, the only one in here. Peace, peace. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it real too. Like I'm a if only one person showing up in it, I'm gonna shut it. I see 7 people. This is for interaction. I'm not here to be like a it's not a petting zoo. I got you. I got you. All right, word, word. And that's another thing too. Catching myself. I'm learning as I go now is to vibrate. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. You know, but again, definitely. Again, understanding the dynamic of the internal, external realm, and if some type of antagonist energy, you know, pops up into our realm, you know, it's for us to understand ourselves and attracting that situation. Like, what are we doing? What are we thinking subconsciously? What emotional traumas are, you know, internally affecting us to attract this situation? You know, and right now more than ever, it's like what we focus on grows. Like, you know, I'm aware to you know, not pay attention to a lot of this. Again, like that's why almost every Disney show and a lot of these things, like, oh, the event is coming, you know, this is happening. And again, what I realize is it's like this awakening in essence is just us becoming, you know, aware of how much we are creating our reality and how much we're interconnected. So it's not so much of an apocalypse as much as it's just a shift in our awareness. And with that shift in awareness, you know, some antagonist energies are trying to get everybody to focus on, oh shit, about to be fucked up and and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And again, the actuality of it is that things are gonna shift, you know. But when I really look at it, it's just gonna be a different level of, you know, chaos. Like, cause chaos exists right now, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no different. I mean, as we move forward, you know, it's going to exist on a different level, you know what I'm saying? Because there will be some people that's dealing with, you know, certain mental breakdowns and stuff like that. You know, just seeing myself at how strong I've been having to stay on, you know, on my awareness mentally and stuff like that. So I know, you know, like, yeah, this shift is going to bring forth certain levels of change. But again, like, into that vibe of like harping on, oh, them over there, or, you know, again, we do have awareness because we did come into this realm. Like, we don't want to be extreme on the, oh, again, like the extreme one is like, oh, I'm source and I'm everything. Let me put this manure on my chest so the grass could grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, not tapping into it from that extreme, but definitely, again, understand the interconnectedness. And if, an antagonist do come into my realm or show up, it's like understanding what am I doing to allow that to show up in my realm, you know what I'm saying? And not pointing the finger or feeling like, oh, it's them, they did this, they did that. Yeah, chemtrails and all that exists, you know what I'm saying? But, and this is me sharing from my perspective. Again, this is my perspective. If you feel like, oh, that's too soft, or that's too da, bro, they got a button that you could press to shut down your phone or change the, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what I realized too. That's why as you do videos, you start to realize, well, you don't have to deal with no trolling energies, and you let them know, like, like, hey, if you don't, like, how how crazy is it that you're coming and watch something that you don't like? If I'm saying something that's that off or whatever, shit, go watch something else, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm damn sure not about to sit here and fuss with you. You know what I'm saying? All right, now we got some people up in here, Lion Emperor, what's up? Irene Neo, what's up, what's up? Negative energy that causes anxiety or depression. Uh, just in general, understanding the negativity. Like, again, like, stop treating our negativity or our negative emotions as something bad or like it's trying to get us. Like, realizing that our imagination is so real that if you turn your own anger into a monster, it'll manifest into a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you treat your own anxiety or depression as if it's a monster or something bad, it's not about like trying to combat it as much as it's trying to understand why it exists. Like, trying to understand why my ego exists and let my ego know, hey, ego, the way we was operating before, we ain't operating no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shifting this thing, you know what I'm saying? And when we start to tap in spiritually, you know, more and more as we step into habitual nature of understanding oneness and eliminating illusion from out of our realm, like, the ego just kind of has no choice but to fall in line with the healthy movement of the whole body, you know what I'm saying, in that sense of it. But simple little things that could help for sure is meditation, like sitting down and clearing yourself. Me personally, I always, I work with crystals. So working with like black tourmaline. Matter of fact, when you say anxiety and depression, black tourmaline, lepidolite, and rose quartz, in that combination, would be a great vibe for that whole, thing. And we're working with crystals. Hey, rose quartz, I want you to allow for me to love myself even when I'm going through anxiety and depression. Because again, a lot of times what creates that coming back up is because we're trying to fight against it or because we hate it. Like, I hate my anxiety, I hate my depression. Well, you're gonna get more of it till you learn how to understand that it's like north, south, east, west. It's like a compass, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I value the fact that my vehicle has like a gas light so it could let me know when it's empty. Because some may like, oh man, the gas tank empty or this and that. Well, I'm grateful that this gas meter allows for me to see that the tank is empty. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for this negative energy that's coming to allow for me to see that, oh, I'm belittling myself. That's why I'm attracting people who coming at me like this. It's not them. I'm belittling myself to attract, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm doing this, or I think I know it all, so I'm attracting, people who think I know it all, or, or people who want to, go against me, or whatever. But it's, I'm grateful from day one that source alignment with that track. Shout out to the earliest DMT trips and stuff like that. Stripping the subconscious naked, stripping this all this naked to really see like, all right, because that's the tough thing, because it's like, to understand, to say, hey, the people, like, because that's the thing, like the child molester, the government, all this, you know, is things that you created and attracted to your reality. From a human perspective, that's tough for a lot of people to take in and understand. And I realized upon my growth, it's like, fuck it, even if, the majority don't, understand it on that level, don't go along to get along, in the sense of like, try to, go along with delusion, just to like, nah, fuck that. That's a dangerous situation, you know what I'm saying? Without fear mongering, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't have to bring myself back to being in the illusion to make other people feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying? But like, I realized though, like, that's what we be feeling like, as far as like the toughness and, aligning with that, is because we could feel the majority, not really, tapping in and understanding with that. And also though, that depends on where you at, because I see like with me, being back in Opelousas, Louisiana, which I see, that people are aware. Matter of fact, shout out to the brethren and sister and I've been coming across out here, that's like, on point like a needle, you know what I'm saying? On point like a Uncle Sam poster. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to who that was from Field Mob, said that. On point like a Uncle Sam poster. A little Uncle Sam poster. On point. Ah, won't you? Fucking, matter of fact, yeah, bro. K. Wilson, good morning. Oh, and Miss Blank Check, like, I ain't even finished, but Miss Blank Check answered it too, in that sense. Being present, because again, most anxieties and depressions come from worrying about something that happened in the past, or like what I'm gonna do in the future. Hence why, again, like, being present, focusing on yourself, understanding yourself, self-care, journaling to see what your passions are, or if you already know what your passions are, tapping into them. But like, once you focusing on your self-help, your like understanding yourself, taking care of yourself, you know, expressing your passions, and with your passion and doing what you love is going to be of service to this realm, regardless, just automatically as you do it, it's going to be a service in some way, form, or fashion. You're going to end up sharing it with somebody, you know what I'm saying? But again, like that fully present, because the only time apocalypse shit come up, or shit could feel like depressed or like grim, is whenever you like, again, like whether watching the news or like, all this shit, like, because that's what that second wave of that bullshit, with that little bullshit sickness and shit, that little fake ass bullshit ass sickness that they, what I'm saying, pushing, it's like they, it's coming again for a little second wave. So like, let's see if we could catch whoever paying attention to us, you know. And again, that don't mean they bad or, ain't nothing bad or good. They doing their job, you know what I'm saying? Like, we asked for this test, a diamond becomes a diamond because of pressure, you know what I'm saying? But yes, like being fully present in your now moment, because when you doing you, because I realize, like, when I'm at the farmer's market doing my jewelry, I'm in a consultation, I'm doing art, I'm doing a video, all that other shit don't exist, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even when doing videos, it might be even bringing up the aspect of the future still, like, but I'm talking to you, right? Right now, none of that other shit be existing. And that's a practice I do too sometimes, is I just ask myself, like, all right, what's around me right now? Like, where am I right now? And in most cases, wherever you at right now, that anxiety and that depression not existing in that now moment. You probably just sitting in your room. Like, what anxiety and depression exists right there? Are you at the store? And of course, well, that's a different anxiety and depression, if you kind of feel some kind of way about being out in public. But even that's something to figure out, like, hey, inner being, spirit guides, why do I get so fucking nervous around people? Or why, you know what I'm saying? And again, understanding and finding our balance, because yes, we, there's a level of quote unquote protecting our energy, in the essence of it. But again, when we go out in public, like I realized like it's not other people, it's more so how we deal with it. Cause yes, all right, other people might have like thought pollution and their thoughts this and that and but you know how I handle it has to deal with me, not them. You know what I'm saying? It's not their fault on how I handle shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's me. You know, and tap it into that, you know what I'm saying? Like to the best of our abilities, you know. And matter of fact, I'll be having to laugh it out because, man, some of them old thoughts will come up and be like, oh yeah, it was so and so. This fucked up shit happened when so and so came into my life, and when that shit happened, and so this other, and this shit got confusing when really got confusing when so and so came into my life. But it's like, and that's what again, and it's gonna be more and more of so and so and so and so if you don't kind of get back to that space of like, oh shit, hold on now, I'm the creator of my reality, and so appeared because of certain things going on within me, you know what I'm saying, and because of my lack of awareness to, bring that accountability within for creating my realm. I created more of those people, places, and things by falling into the delusion of blame. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I realized, you know, in essence, that seemed like what it is like just breaking out of that illusion. Because most things seem like it's always trying to get somebody to play sides, like like be just on the side of comedics, be just over here, be just over there. You know what I'm saying? And as I say that, calling myself out, I done been through that shit. So again, that's another thing too. Like I'm not judging this when I see it, from certain people and stuff. It's like, all right, I'm aware, cool. You know what I'm saying? No judgment towards them or whatever, whether they doing deliberately or not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't always in the know. Because that's a part of like our own inner growth is like loving the old part of us that didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like forgiving the part of me that drunk the shit out of some 40 ounces and pop Zans. You know what I'm saying? I forgive that part of me. And I love that part of me because that part of me taught me a lot. I had a lot of aha moments when I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Man, honestly, bro, I gotta give me another one on the slick. I feel like that purple plate had my energy. To me, it reminded me of working with Black Kyanite in the sense of like Black Kyanite would have me so grounded and protected that I could like be around like very. I could just be around people with ease, and no matter how toxic or whatever. And it's more so, I guess, your own understanding, because it was also like a groundedness for one, for understand like, all right, a person can't, like, my environment can't affect me, like, and if we see that our environment is starting to like press our buttons, it's like say the affirmations and do the meditations to become more aware and observant, to not let our environment poke at us. Because if just the fact that if a person says something, and that triggers you, it's like becoming aware of like, all right, what's the root to that trigger, you know what I'm saying? So that you won't be on remote control, you know what I'm saying? So it's like not allowing for our environment to to control us to that extent. But and as I say that again, I'm not speaking from no place of like, oh yeah, cause I didn't fucking, like I still, again, like constantly being aware, constantly shifting it. And with the purple plate, I did feel like an amplified aspect of extrasensory perception. But I definitely just felt like protected in in any conditions in essence, you know what I'm saying? So kind of had like a Black Kyanite vibe. But yeah, I don't know, I forgot where I lost my last one or whatever, but I gotta get me another one. Shout out to you bringing up that. Matter of fact, OG stuff. Matter of fact, where everybody from, man? Shout out where you from let's get acquainted, man. Where everybody from? What's up? Appreciate the grace, CEO. Exodus. Yo, Mr. Andre, what's up? What's up, bro? I see you, man. Shout out to Mr. Andre. Matter of fact, me speaking on beings in this area, you know what I'm saying? That's awakening and stuff like that. Shout out to my brethren holding that space, man. Say, yep, we live in a device. Yeah, matter of fact, and what Seven Bomar brought up, this was in a lot of my DMT trips, and it all connected because Seven Bomar brought up a part of it, and Dolo done brought this up before, but like being in another being. I came to the conclusion from a DMT trip and from like just studying as above, so below. I'm like, all right, if and just the Osmosis Jones, like if like how Osmosis Jones is like the little white blood cells in the body, was like the police of the body, you know what I'm saying? And they had a virus that went to a body, but the body was personified like this big city or this big world, you know what I'm saying? And Osmosis Jones, played by Chris Rock voice or whatever, had to, go through the body looking for this virus. They had to take the train into the intestines or rise up to the brain where the brain was overheating due to. I think I gotta sit down and watch Osmosis Jones again as I'm saying that, man. I'm gonna look that up, man. That's a project for the day. Watch Osmosis Jones again. But and matter of fact, cause they tried to create like a version of that, in essence, a little series. Matter of fact, it's like a Japanese anime called Blood Cells at Work or Blood at Work or something like that on Netflix, I remember. You know. But back to like living in a device, it was Seven brought up being in the chimera, but like a being that's mixed with two species, and he's bringing up like how cats is mixed with a reptilian being and a mammal, you know, and hence why all so much connections with the cats, you know what I'm saying? And again, I would bring up Constantine when Constantine on the movie Constantine when he went in to go to the underworld, you know what I'm saying? He scried in them cat eyes, to tap in. But yeah, I always felt like, for me, like being in the root chakra, like this how it came to me. It was like, what if you're like a light cell in a chakra of another being, you know what I'm saying? And every time that being takes a breath, that's like new souls or energy, like how we take in prana and it, enlightens our body. Imagine whatever being we're in, and that breath is like, in essence, like the souls that enliven the cells, aka, like we may come into this being as a breath of Ashe, you know what I'm saying? And then, go into the root chakra, and then, you dealing with your root chakra energy. If you master being in that root chakra, you the next shift you'll go into the sacral chakra, and transmute whatever energies in that world, you know what I'm saying? And then when the next 25,000 years come around, or the next month or so, depending on what dimension you're in of that body, you know what I'm saying, and it'll be ready for the next shift, you know what I'm saying, where you shift into the solar plexus world, you know what I'm saying? But again, that's how it came to me, and I kind of sit back and see like, all right, this came to me without books or anything. Then also peeping out what is in books and what, and what others have shared from their studies or theories or downloads as well, and allowing for it to all come together, most definitely. OG Stepper, all right, from the Bay Area, repping that UGK, all right. See? Be ready to be biased and be like, all right, he got that UGK, he must be from Port Arthur, Texas. He must be from PA. Man, they got 21 people up in here and I see 14 thumbs up, man. What's up? What's up? Look, and I'm just sharing, like again, like the truest insight, is what's going on inside ourselves. I feel like, too much of anything could be, unhealthy. So too much watching YouTube videos, too much reading, too much meditating, too much drinking, too much smoking, too much water. A lot of people don't know that. I always bring that up because that always surprised me. And then I went researching, like, oh shit. Because I was sitting down, like, thinking, like, oh yeah, I'm going to detoxify the fuck out of my body. I'm going to sit down with big gallons and just boop, 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 boop. And my mom was like, boy, you end up busting yourself. Like, there's a such thing as like over, and there is some, I think it's like, because that's what sodium helps in the body. Sodium helps to balance the waters in the body. And I did a video about that's why soda light is great for balancing emotions. And the reason why soda light is named soda light because it has sodium in it. It's sodium and calcium. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to help tap in with the DNA, because the calcium tapping in with the bones. And then the sodium going to help provide emotional balance, you know what I'm saying? Because again, as above, so below, the elements are speaking the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like the salt is like helping to balance out that water, you know what I'm saying? Soak up some of that water so the water won't be overwhelming. But yeah, it's everything balance and moderation for sure. Wait, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know by 12 p.m. so you can't say you ain't. Said beetroot. Yeah. Matter of fact, again, let me get a little shout out though. Shout out to Arizona, Bay Area, the Caribbean, Louisiana, New Orleans. Got New York in the building. Word. Hey, we got Remy Lewandowski from the Netherlands, man. Give thanks. You're holding space out there in Europe. Greatly appreciated. Got Michigan in the house. What's the name of that little spot in Michigan? I had to ship some stuff out to Ysaplanta. It's like YSPLAINTI or some shit. All right, shout out to Michigan in the house. Let me see where my battery at. 49%. All right, we good. We good. Ypsilanti. Yeah, that place. That place. Yeah, wormwood will move some shit out of you for sure, for sure. Man, my brother had a detox that had like black walnut oil or something like that, or extract. It had that wormwood in it. Matter of fact, that shit was like the whole detox itself was nasty as fuck, but that shit are like, boom. I'm talking about Paris. Like I'm like really though. I'm like it felt like it was coming with a big Joe Frazier haymaker to stomach parasites. Cause after I would drink that shit, like I wouldn't have like no appetite to eat nothing. It's like my stomach parasites got sprayed with like some lay down, like bro, lay down. You know what I'm saying? Cause again, too, is that we're not trying to be at war, and at the same time we are making a shift. And as we done harmonize and express to our being, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the direction we're moving in. You know what I'm saying? And there's still little parts of us that don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And it like, it is what it is. It ain't fighting at that point. It's like knowing what's best for the better, for the better alignment And that aspect is just like trying to be antagonist. So we got like, again, that's why we detoxing, running, you know what I'm saying? Or exercising, whatever the case, because exercising demons, those demons. Yipsy, Ypsilanti. You asking if wormwood is a all or the walnut, the black walnut? I know the detox as a whole, it was a liquid, you know. And I know another good one, more so because of the fiber and stuff, but still, psyllium seed. And I realized psyllium seed was like in a lot of detoxes, because that's what I learned about too. Like I was working at a smoke shop in Baton Rouge, by LSU, and I remember like how the detoxes would be kind of thick, and some people complain like, damn, it's almost like hard to stomach because of how thick it is. And not too long ago, I had some psyllium seed, and I made me a little mix where I put some psyllium seed in the water, but not knowing that the psyllium seed actually turns into like a jello in the water, and it made the consistency thick, you know what I'm saying, and kind of like funny to drink or whatever, like those detoxes and stuff like that. And then the one that really kind of set it off for me was that we had a 7-day detox at the store, and it was all it had in it, and it was just the capsules for a 7-day and 7-day full cleanse. Because we had stuff to, this was for people trying to pass piss tests and stuff like that. So they had stuff that would mask the toxins for a certain amount of time, and then you had stuff that would completely clean you. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think about that shit for myself. Like I ain't like something like, bro, I want something that's gonna completely clean me. Like fuck the dumb shit. But I remember like back in those days, understanding how much the universe was just always gonna look out for me. Because I remember being on probation. Except for when I first got on probation, I kind of stopped smoking. But I just kind of stayed smoking. Like I trust that this smoking is helping in this moment, helping me to relieve stress. I'm not killing nobody. I'm not doing nothing. And sure as shit stink. Even again, every time I would let them know, like, you pass the piss, like, nope. But they knew like I was a 9, like, cause that's how, and I was with my inner being like that. I'm like, Source, man, I'm a non-violent offender. I got caught for some fucking herb, like, fuck the dumb shit. Or even when I got into some other shit, my first trying to be a crack dealer for the first time, had to go through that. You know what I'm saying? But it's Source, like I'm not harming nobody by what I'm doing. And sure as shit stink though, they was like cool with it, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'll just pay some extra shit or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, cause I know I ain't tripping. And seeing how your magic just works, like again, like, and that's why I'm aware, like, man, being aware of, more so when we say protecting our energy, I feel like it's more so too like just protecting our awareness and our clarity, or like, protecting ourselves from certain programs and word magic, you know what I'm saying? And again, just to not agree with it, that doesn't mean if somebody come into your realm and they like, oh yeah, man, we gotta be against them over there, you know. If a person come into our realm on that vibe, I ain't gotta be like, oh shit, you must be out to get me or something. Nah, I keep it real, and that's what, like, first just getting awakened on some, like, wide, bright eye shit is like, you could see, like, although this person may not personally be trying to fuck with you, you do see through the lens of, like, but yeah, this was, as soon as I talk about detoxing or becoming, breaking myself out of the illusion, then this person pops up. That's telling me to not detox, or telling me to pay attention to the illusion, So as much as, it would seem like, fuck, what the fuck, like, coming at me, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, as you grow, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it pops up. Man, I love the crack fire agate. Real great for protection from like, cause I realized too, again, like protection from negativity is protection from your own inner negativity. Cause what creates those situations is our own negative thoughts, or negative trauma, emotional, things inside of us that attract those situations. So fire aggregate works with the, both in essence the root and the sacral chakra. I kind of feel the presence in both, more so the sacral, but in the sacral, in essence, in this realm, the chakra that's kind of one of the chakras that is under attack, you could say almost more than others, is the sacral chakra because of how much stuff is geared towards creating emotional attachment. And when we look at where most of our work comes from, the aspect of releasing emotional attachments and seeing how unhealthy emotional attachments is, you know and I say that's the only thing, but again, like, it's like how we react to respond to situations has to do a lot with emotions, you know so again, like, uh so and so got shot by the cops, this and that. Like, if we're aware, you could respond accordingly by ignoring that shit, knowing that this always been happening. I just need to focus on doing what I need to do. So because that's the solution. Or I could be emotionally reactive and triggered into like, oh, they just shot another nigga. Oh man, and where's the alignment in that? You know what I'm saying? Like in that, oh, let's, what I'm saying, let's go, shout out to the brethren and sister that was making those posts showing how certain shit was set up to make people like, like riot and shit. Well, like, I remember that video I had on my other Instagram where brethren was showing like, he was like, bro, you see this? And he was showing like, bro, earlier we was out here and they didn't have this, and now basically they had like bricks. Like, but basically like they were supplying the riot, like, they, whatever, what I'm saying? But the bricks, what I'm saying, just magically appear, showing that, all right, something does want you to, again, because what does that help by alluding to throwing bricks in the building? Like what really helps my inner world, throwing big bricks in another building or doing my inner work, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it is what it is, because we are about to start seeing what's, who and what's truly in alignment, what's not. But again, as I say that, because I'm working on my own alignment. So again, all that trying to point other shit out, that's another thing. Like, I'm trying to point out what's going right in my realm, what's going well. If something pop up that's not going well, I'm gonna look to understand it and not run away from it, but again, like all that trying to, oh, they over there doing this and they over there doing that. What about what's going on inside of me and what I'm doing? But yeah, with the fire agate, bro, real great with like psychic protection and protecting the sacral chakra energy, and healing any traumas in most cases connected with emotions and stuff like that. And again, like protection from psychic attacks by us working on, because it's our own emotional attachments to certain things or certain traumas that's allowing for the thoughts to replay, which allowing for the emotions to replay. With once the thoughts and the emotions replay, then it's gonna create people, places, and things to align with that. So again, it's an illusion to think like, oh, all right, my fire agate just protected me from them per se, as much as, I mean, yeah, technically it's protecting, but it's like it's working on you internally so that your external realm could reflect the look of protection, if that makes sense. Yep, OG Stepper, you have a splendid weekend too, my brother. Oh, my sister, but OG Stepper, UGK him, what I'm saying? But I just didn't want to be, and apologies either, but that's another thing. I don't want to just, uh, that victim mode apology for everything. But yeah, OG Stepper, you have a blessed weekend. What's up, Isaiah? And I'm catching myself because there's certain areas again, like still, still healing, still healing that perspective of not looking at things, from that illusionary perspective. So I realized, bro, that's just a hall of mirrors. And again, I realized too, if I'm experiencing certain, thoughts that still pop up, then like what, like just making sure again that I'm going into sending love. Like if I once looked at some person, place, or thing as something bad or trying to harm me, like I transmute that by like like forgiving that being, forgiving myself and that being, and understanding like I attracted that situation, and just constantly staying in that mind frame, or affirming, to not place blame externally. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's like, oh man, if it wasn't for slavery, if it wasn't for the government, and I again like that getting real, because we seeing because at the end of the day, what I realize is like it's inner work that helps. You know, like some people main thing, because it's different strokes for different folks, gonna be more external than internal. You know, but again, like when I say that, some people, awareness are only gonna get to a certain level of of understanding. Hey, it's your inner world first, and then external world. But again, any and all aspects help. So even the person who's simply giving out food or whatever the case may be, it all helps. But at the end of the day, again, and that's what with my channel, why I always make sure to let people know, man, like you could be just as great as me, because I'm looking to help create. Like I ain't looking for you to be fed off of me. I ain't looking for no followers, man. I'm looking for a bunch of beings. Not say looking for, but I would like to have in my presence beings that's just as great as me and just as aware as me, and not nobody looking to me like, all right, Universal, what's the next move? All right, Universal, what's the next move? Like, nah, shit, iron sharpen iron. Sometimes, shit, I'm look at you and be like, shit, what's popping? What you feeling in the ethers today? Well, let's chop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you know. But yeah, definitely not trying to create a bunch of followers. Can I speak dialect like patois? I could kind of clown like Jamaican patois and stuff like that. But nah, I ain't practiced it in a minute. Matter of fact, what I'm feeling in love with is like doing like a British voice, like a British London type of voice. Like tea and bloody tea and all these different metaphysical say, cause you gotta be bloody lighthearted in this realm of reality. I think back to, back when I used to be a young lad eating SpaghettiOs, and when I used to look at my SpaghettiOs, I used to think to myself, what, where did we come from? I used to look at my SpaghettiOs. Used to look. Matter of fact, cause they take the constant out of everything. Used to look. They'll put the K on. Look. I used to look at my spaghetti without the G. SpaghettiOs. Hey. Matter of fact, as you say, from the Netherlands, shout out to my sis, shout out to the Queen, Miss Manx. from out there in the Netherlands. Yep, that's it there, bruv. Matter of fact, what's my bruv? My bruv, man. I met a brethren at the Whole Foods downtown LA. He was out there for like a little convention or whatever, like a little music or game thing convention or whatever. And we was chopping it up for a little second, but he was from out there. He was on this little, like the bruv. And I've been also checking out the rappers and stuff like that. I say little rappers, but rappers from the London, England area. But it's a quick run. It's also not gonna be long. We're gonna stop around the hour mark. We're gonna stop when it's necessary for sure. That's another thing. Now to vibrate whenever. Yeah, I jammed Stormzy. Hey, Stormzy had a little song about the Black Queens or something. I forgot what's the name of the little song, bruh. Stormzy and there's another brethren too. I forgot, but yeah, Stormzy be with it. And then you see, I'm an old school, I'm an old head, so I was on SAS, with Dipset. Streets all salute. London boys. That's my shit. Cause again, that's why I know I be tapped in like as a being, I'm a traveling being, you know what I'm saying? Like I like to travel to those different dimensions, and that's again like a part of that one of the main archetypes I work with, is like that Elegba energy, Elegwa, I should say, or Elegba energy. And that's like, again, like the messenger of the gods, that Loki, all that, you know what I'm saying? And realizing, again, with all of these little deities and stuff like that, they all have a positive and negative to them, so as much as, Loki or certain beings could be depicted as like, oh, they're the bad or just a trickster, there's also some beneficial aspects to that, like Joker perspective, because the Joker, in essence, that aspect is like questioning things to get, and again, though, it's a balance, because I realize like with the Lucifer, the unhealthy Lucifer aspect, in just looking for the light show, enlightenment from that perspective. And like it's more so about soul liberation and just enlightenment, but I feel like they come together, like the inner enlightenment, in essence, and understanding ourselves helps with the soul liberation. But yeah, I was talking about the different dimensions and communicating between the different dimensions, like again, Mercury, Hermes, Thoth, as a matter of fact, though, Seven was bringing up in his build about like, how many times Jehudi or Thoth has shapeshifted, you know what I'm saying? That's why Loki is considered a shapeshifter, or why Elegba has like over 100 and something paths. It has more paths than the other Orishas. All these different paths within the one archetype. You know what I'm saying? You got like this type of Legba and that type of Legba and that type. You know what I'm saying? That archetype exists like that because again, it's like a messenger of a god's energy. Because there ain't no way you could be a messenger of a god or gods, or just in general, messenger between beings. And not even. Get it, but a messenger between beings unless you were able to speak in all the different dialects, you know what I'm saying? We're passing through the old neighborhood. But, yeah, it's like, vibing with all the different languages and stuff like that. Gotta stay low key. Mhm. Yeah, like right now, just the message and the solution is, tapping in, uh, just making sure we listening to our intuition and being aware of ourselves to not be following programs, more than our intuition, being present because all that apocalyptic, oh, this is going to happen, that is going to happen, it only exists in that conversation as you're indulging in it. Oh, well, oh, you don't know nothing. Now's the vibrate. What's in front of you right now. Because I'm going to keep it real, too. Like, it is it's a shift in awareness, that's coming, but it always been like it been for the longest. Like, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. That is going to happen, And again, though, look, it may have been things that's been happening, but it ain't happening in my close proximity. I don't watch the news or none of that. Most I can see, from the weather is the little rain every now and then that we get out here where it rain and then the sunshine. It rain and the sunshine. I don't know about no this and that nowhere else, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I feel like I always ask myself, is this information gonna enlighten me? And if not, I don't need to look at it. Like, is this gonna help me in some kind of way? Now, if I was about to move out of the country, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, I would go research like what's going on in the area that I'm about to move in. Just to have an idea, and again, because I'm here in the physical, so yeah, I'm gonna be tapped into intuition and trust, and then also see physically, like, all right, what's going on around here, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, asking myself, like, all right, how does this insight serve my now moment? How does this person talking about their dead dog serves my now moments? Where like on life, where you read that letter, it was like your cousin Marlene on your daddy's side died, and such died, and then on account of the crops not coming in, the dog, and then it was like, and then the dog had worms, and the dog died too. Like, what is that insight? Great, but on the perspective of other people just bringing it up for like, so and so, it's like, that's me transmuting my shit. Right. Now it's the vibrate. Matter of fact, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. For the algorithms with the videos, hit the thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Press the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. You can be notified whenever I do new videos, and whenever I do live videos, and any and all donations is greatly appreciated. The donation link is underneath most of my videos. I can't type it in right here, but Cash App and PayPal link is underneath all videos. Make sure like it's okay to share any videos that you vibe with. If you want to turn a long ass video into a sound bite, cool. Make sure to check out the playlist. I got playlists that can simplify, broke down also like into eras. You got my 2016 videos, 2017 videos, 2018 videos, and etc. But and again, man, just focusing on tapping in with ourselves, protecting our imagination, creating from our imagination, dissolving the illusion of something out to get you or whatever the case may be. That's the only antagonist is those negative thoughts, or those thoughts that's trying to get us to be on some wild goose chase outside of us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about no wild goose chase outside of us. You know what I'm saying? It's our own little internal vibe. But I'm out, y'all. Peace, peace. Ain't got nothing else I felt to share on. As a matter of fact, any questions on something that I brought up before I go? Any questions on something that I brought up before I go? Before I go. Yogi G Root. Man, just tap it in, man. Break it down. Again, all these little programs. Oh man, shit. You gotta rewatch the video to know what's the vibe break for the day. But just on a general speaking, what this video was about was again, what this video was about was the aspect of how difficult, like the real challenge in this realm is to the real challenge in this realm is to understand how much, again, that separation, like basically how much everything is really truly interconnected and how much you're creating your own reality. No matter if a person is an NPC or a clone or whatever, you know, like you attracted that NPC or that clone into your experience, and why, you know, maybe you may be doing some clone shit or some NPC type of shit. Cause that's another thing too. What I realized, like even with that, it's like it's still interconnected. You know, like why? Well, oh, the computer is able to pick up on what I'm doing, but it's not connected to me. You know. But yeah, that's kind of the main thing. Man, it's great to build with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's only hard if you keep saying it's hard. You creating the spells. It's easy. It's easy to let go of judgment. And I'd rather say that no matter how difficult, let's just say it was seeming difficult in my round. I wouldn't be like, oh, what it is, it's difficult, fuck it. You know, because then you're creating that reality. You know. You know. Oh man, you know, them over there doing that. All right, then them over there is doing that in your world. In your world, because again, we creating our own little unique realities, and how you starting to see like how you interact with yourself and others is from your own perception, and you're creating things from your own perception. So if so and so a monster, because the same person, uh like one person could look at a person like, oh man, this person is bad, da, 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 and I come around like, oh shit, that person cool, he 100, you know. But in your realm, you might be demonizing something that person is doing, or you know, whatever. So it's gonna come off as, you know, like they trying to harm you, or they're a monster, or whatever the case may be. Because in a lot of cases too, it's like it always points back to a lot of shadow work and emotional trauma. Like in a lot of cases, you know, that separation aspect is like pointing out a certain part of us that we don't want to accept, you know. Because like even with the government and stuff, like, you know, it's like maybe I was once a part of a government that operated like the government operates now, and a lot of my being against it is being against the part of me that used to be like how the government is today. I might have had a past life or something where, you know, where I controlled the masses without telling them what's really going on. You know, and I despise that part of myself from that past life. And so in this lifetime, I look at the government as like, oh, it's all bad. And again, yeah, a lot of that shit is, you know what I'm saying? It, there's some bullshit to it, but again, it's just more so the perspective of the holding grudge aspect. Like it's not to say not to acknowledge facts, and to acknowledge the fact that yeah we heal ourselves and that all this little bullshit that's being promoted is fake. You know what I'm saying? From the perspective of truly understanding, how the body heals itself. Now, again, I'm not here to make you understand how I know it's fake. You got to do your own research and tap in. I done had enough of DMT trips and enough research for myself to know like that shit is fake. And the whole name of that game is to try to get you to believe that something can fuck with you, and once you believe it, that's a wrap. Like the horror story, the horror movies and stuff like that. A person will be Gucci, but the moment they start to let that little voice or noise get to them, then bam, and then they reacting to it more. Then the next thing you know, it's becoming again. Your imagination is real. Your imagination creates reality. So if you imagine a ghost, there's gonna be a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. Like straight up. If you imagine that so and so, and again, that's why it's best to imagine that that I'm living the life that I love, that I have no enemies, that I'm protected no matter where I'm at, you know. Peace, peace. Now it's vibrate, not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now.